Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. And Champions League is back. Champions League football is back. Match day 7 is here. The deadline stream is here. We have around 1 hour and 30 minutes until the deadline. How are you guys? It's been long. The Champions League was done by November or something, but you're back 3 months later. It's also Valentine's Day, so hopefully you're having a great day. But if you're single like us, we are here talking about Champions League. That's our Valentine's. Ray, yes, I remember you. How are you? How are you? Ace as well, Nelly as well. Nice seeing you guys as always. What's up? What's good, Nelly? My team is set. Just need the lineups before any final changes. I'm waiting for the lineup as well. Absolutely, Ray. Missed you guys too. Missed the Champions League as always. Is Ivan Perisic a good option in your opinion? Yes, mostly because AC Milan concede a lot of set pieces, and Perisic could be taking a few corners from the right side. So I think it could be an option. I think Tottenham could easily score from a set piece in that match. So I think he is, but I don't think he'll keep a clean sheet. I think both teams will score. I think it's always been 4. No, it's always been 4. So he always going to have a different captain on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday. That's how it's always been. How are you, Ace? Let's see, Lead as well. How are you? I took Sane instead of Musiala, which you have taken. I'm still thinking about that as well. I'm trying to consider which one is a better option. And I actually think I have enough money to go from Musiala to Sane. I think I have like 4 million in the bank or something crazy like that. So I have the option of taking out Musiala for Sane. But I kind of just prefer Musiala because he starts every single game. I think in the last like 4 or 5 games, he started all of them. I think he's only had like 1 goal and an assist, but I still prefer him. Yes, Sane is always explosive in the Champions League, but I kind of prefer Musiala. I don't think there's any problem with any of the picks. Valentine is football as always. Ace, how are you, Nick? Hi, Glenn. I wanted to tell you my team, Courtois, Edison, no problem with that at all. Usually I wouldn't go for too expensive goalkeepers, but I don't mind that at all. We're in the last 16, so probably most of the goalkeepers are expensive anyway. Davis, Otamendi, Grimaldo, Diaz, and Di Lorenzo. Man City with Diaz is too much of a risk. They could literally start any defender. It could be Laporte and Diaz. It could be Ake and Laporte. It could be maybe not 2 left-footed center backs, but it could be anything. It could be Akanji and Ake. It could be on the right side. It could be Walker or Lewis. Like I wouldn't go for any Man City center backs like Diaz and Laporte. Ake, I think, will start. That's why I've gone for him. He has also rested in the last game. Now they're playing Arsenal tomorrow, and they're playing. I've forgotten which team they're playing over the weekend. I think it's Nottingham Forest. So they still have 2 games before they play against Leipzig. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. But in terms of Diaz and Laporte, I think it's too risky. Ake is the only one who I think will definitely start. All the rest too risky. I also have Bellingham, Vinicius, Mario, Sané, Varshalia, Haaland, Kane, Osimhen. I don't mind that at all. Kane, I think he will score against AC Milan. It could even be from a corner. And the midfield as well, no problem at all. Always a good idea to double up or triple up on Napoli. Napoli is Napoli. They're going to win every single game. Davies or Cancelo? I've gone for Cancelo because he's usually very good in terms of recovery points from his time at City. But if anything, Bayern Munich is a better team than Man City in the Champions League by far, more experienced and everything. So I think Cancelo is always a better option. And I'm hearing they could play in a back five. So both of them could be very good options. Like if they play as wing backs today, like any of them could get assist or anything. But I prefer Cancelo because of his recovery points. Osimhen or Ramos? Now, Benfica expect them to score like 2 goals against Club Brugge, and Osimhen as well, and Napoli expect them to get at least 2 goals against Frankfurt. I've been thinking about Ramos and Rafa Silva because they've been scoring a lot of goals and getting assists as well. But personally, I'll go for Osimhen. I think Osimhen is the best striker, probably the best striker in the world right now. He's scoring crazy goals as well. And Napoli, I think, is better form and everything. And in terms of easier opponents, I think Club Brugge is easier than Frankfurt. Frankfurt are the champions from the Europa League last season, but I'd still go for Osimhen because Napoli is just free scoring, man. Like, you definitely have to have a Napoli player in your team. News on Haaland fitness, he will be back. Now, as you probably know, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm pretty sure he's going to play against us tomorrow. He's not going to miss that game, so he will be back. And Man City are playing next week against Leipzig, so he will definitely be there. So I'm not expecting him to miss the game against Arsenal tomorrow. He'll definitely be there. So he's also back in training anyway. I heard that he trained yesterday. Benzema, good choice or not? He hurt me a lot in the group stage, so definitely not. I would go for the midfielders. Vini, Valverde, those guys. But in terms of striker, no, I think there's better strikers in terms of this knockout stage, the likes of Osimhen. Obviously, Benzema can score against Liverpool. He probably even score. I mean, he's one of the reasons why Real Madrid won the Champions League last season, a Ballon d'Or winner. But recently, I'm not so sure. I mean, the one thing I love about Benzema is that when he takes penalties, even if he misses, he takes the next one anyway. Sometimes they have 2 to 3 penalties. But in terms of, we still have to respect Liverpool as a team that usually does well in the Champions League. So I still think it's going to be a hard game for both teams. So I wouldn't go for Benzema. Ederson and Vlachodimos, I have no problem with that. Davies, Di Lorenzo, Akanji, Grimaldo. Man City with Akanji, and I also have Ake in my team, but I'm really doubting myself. Like, I really do not like their defense because of rotation, and I think Leipzig will score 2 goals in that game. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet against Leipzig anyway. Grimaldo is good. He takes free kicks, calls them, not just takes them. Same midfield as you. Attackers Osimhen, Kane, and Haaland. So Kane is a good differential. I have no problem with him. But for me, I really can't leave out a PSG player for Kane. But the rest of the team looks good, apart from Akanji. I'm really doubting City keeping a clean sheet and also who starts. Like, they have 2 games between now and that Champions League game next week. So they could easily have Laporte and Diaz starting. They could have Laporte and Akanji. They could have Diaz and Ake. I think it's a bit of a risk. So I'd avoid Akanji. I can also see you've gone for 2 defenders from Benfica, Vlaco and Grimaldo. I do have a feeling Club Brugge will score. They always score. They've not done well the last 10 games, but I think they've scored in every single one of the last 10 games, Club Brugge. So they usually score at home. KDB or Vini? I'd go for Vinicius against Liverpool. I also have Damian in defense. I'd also avoid that. Damian and Dumfries. Yes, he started the last couple of games. I had Dumfries until 10 minutes ago. I feel like anyone could start. I feel like there's a possibility Dumfries could be started because he's usually better in European competitions, World Cup, Champions League. So Damian could be dropped back to the bench and Dumfries preferred in a Champions League game. So I would try and avoid both of them. And I think Porto as well will score. I don't think Porto Inter Milan will keep a clean sheet against Porto. Diaz replacements. Depends on who you have. Let me see your team again, Nick. So you said Ederson, and you also already have Ederson, so I wouldn't really double up on their defense as well. Davies, Otamendi, Grimaldo, Di Lorenzo. Maybe if you prefer Theo Hernandez, they consider a lot of goals, but he could play as a wing back. And also, if you prefer the other team, Tottenham, you could go for the likes of Perisic. But if you really want a Man City defender, I think Ake is the one who's definitely going to start out of all of those. Tough one, though. It's hard to predict. They have 2 games between now and then, so anything could happen. The other good thing is that we get to see the team news before you make a sub. So if you have a Man City defender, just have him on the bench, and then next week when you see the team news, if they start and another of your players did not do well, you can just bring him on. But if they don't start, you just leave them on the bench. So that's the good thing. We get to see every single team, every single squad before the deadlines. Let's see. Yes, Salander's in training. Liad says Ederson and Vaco, Grimaldo, Guerrero. Guerrero is a very good option. I've also considered him. And at home against Chelsea, I feel like they're going to win that one. So that one could be a very good option as well. Di Lorenzo, Cancelo, Di Marco, Bellingham. Midfield looks okay, no problem. Even forward line looks okay. Let's wait and see the PSG team, but I have no problem with that, Liad. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. Perisic or Theo Hernandez. I'd go for Perisic because he's going to take corners, and AC Milan consider a lot of corners. So that is why I'd go for Perisic. Check Bayern lineup in the game against Bochum. Let me just check that. Is that the last game? Yeah, that was the last game, right? That's the game that they had 1-0 at halftime or something. Yeah, that's the game they scored right before halftime to make it 1-0. I remember that. And then I think they added another 2 in the second half. I don't remember the lineup well. Let me just check once again. Ripadu. Lineups are out. Thank you, Ace. We'll check that. We will be there next season, Ray. Don't worry. We will be there in the Champions League next season. And I'm going to try not to be biased at all. Who should I go for my goalkeeper to replace Courtois or Ederson? I have no problem with any of them, but if you don't want them to be too expensive, like I suggested earlier, you can obviously go for Vlaco Dimos from Benfica. You go for a Dortmund goalkeeper if you prefer. So the lineups from Bayern and Bochum Ripadu who should I replace Akanji for? If you want a Man City defender, Ake, and if you want a different defender, target Benfica. And I've not seen anyone with the Real Madrid defender, anything like that. I wouldn't mind them as a differential, no problem. But no, mostly Napoli and Benfica defenders. They had Pavard, Upamecano, Delete, Goretzka, Gnabry, Cancelo, Sane, Musiala, Muller, and Choupo-Moting. I don't think they'll go with this in the Champions League, though. This feels like it was very attacking. Sane, Musiala, Gnabry, Choupo-Moting, Muller. Yeah, this feels like it was very attacking. So I don't think they'll go with the same lineup against PSG away from home in the Champions League. They will definitely make a few. But I'm hearing they are playing a back five as well today. And let me just check the lineup. I'm hearing the lineup is out. The last game, they played in a 3-3-2-2 formation, whatever that is. I've seen that. So I think Goretzka was holding. I don't think they'll play that in the Champions League. You need to be very careful. If you play that in the Champions League, if you're going to give the likes of Messi and Mbappe space, you're going to concede goals. Guerrero is a good option to take, don't you think? Yes, I do think that. Ray is always very attacking, and he's already scored in the Champions League this season. Where is Bayern? Let's check Bayern's lineup. Best Davis not starting. Interesting. I'll come to the rest of your question. Let me just read these lineups. So Bayern Munich have Sommer in goal, Upamecano, Delete, Pavard, and Cancelo at the back. And then Goretzka, Sane, Coman, Musiala, then Kimmich, Choupo-Moting. So are they playing a back five? Is this a back five or back four? Upamecano, Delete, Pavard, Cancelo. Those are 4 defenders, but Coman could play as a wing back. So let's just say a back 4. Upamecano, Delete, Pavard, Cancelo, and then midfield, I'm guessing Kimmich and Goretzka, and then Musiala as a number 10, and then Choupo-Moting up front, and then Sane and Coman as the wingers. So I think this is a back 4. But it could change to a back 5. It could even be the 3-3-2-2 that Ripadu noticed from the last game. So that's their lineup. So Musiala starts, Sane starts, Cancelo starts, no problem with that. Davis is benched, as someone said in the chat. As Nick said, they have Gnabry on the bench, Davis, Blind, Muller, the likes of Tell, Fake Ibrahimovic is on the bench as well, and Stanisic is on the bench as well. So I think Coman could obviously come off for someone like a Gnabry. I know some of you have Coman. I wouldn't go for him, but that is Bayern's lineup. Let me just confirm PSG's lineup and then check the other teams as well. Mbappe out, Davis out. So yeah, Mbappe was going to be starting on the bench. That's why I took him out for Messi. Let's just check PSG's lineup. Yes, Seb, you can have a captain Tuesday, Wednesday, then Tuesday, Wednesday. But you're hoping by the time you get to Wednesday tomorrow, your captain has already scored enough points so that you don't have to worry about changing it again. Emerson Royal Masterclass. Yeah, probably 2 own goals or something. He's okay sometimes though, but yeah, he's a calamity. Tottenham fans will tell you that. Where is the PSG lineup? Have they put it in there? Yeah, not yet. Cancelo Pavard to replace Davies. I'd go for Cancelo. Can you check Spurs lineup as well? Yes. Tottenham AC Milan. That's going to be an interesting one. Which account posts every single lineup? Spurs. Dumfries, good choice. Rotation is too much. I had him in my team, but I think him and Damian rotation is too high. But I feel like Dumfries is going to start next week anyway. Foster, Romero, Dyer, Lenglet, Royale, and Sa. No, they're playing. This is a back four, right? This is a Romero, Dyer, Lenglet, Royale, and Perisic, I'm guessing. So this is a back five as always for Tottenham. Romero, Dyer, Lenglet as the centre backs, Royale as the right wing back, Perisic as the left wing back. Their midfield is Sign, Skip. Interesting. Kulusevski, Son, and Kane up front. Then Richarlison, Lucas, Danjuma on the bench, Pedro Porro, Tanganga, Davis, Sanchez, all on the bench. So that is the Tottenham lineup. Can I just type this in, right? Let me type the lineups if possible. As lineup, they have Foster. A lot of their players are injured. They don't have Bentancur, they don't have Lloris, they don't have Bissouma as well. Those are a lot of injuries. Luckily, they're playing against an AC Milan team that has been terrible this year. They conceded goals to Sassuolo, Lazio, Inter. They're not looking good at all. But since it's at home, at their place, I feel like AC Milan are not going to lose. Real Masterclass, I don't think so. Royale, they have Sa, Skip. That midfield looks very weak for a Champions League game. I know they've praised Sa a couple of times, but in the Champions League game, Sa and Skip, if they were up against like a Bayern or something, they would have been absolutely smashed. Kulusevski, Son, Kane. That's the Spurs lineup. That's everyone. So Spurs have Foster, Romero, Dyer, Lenglet, Royale, Sa, Skip, Perisic, Kulusevski, whatever. I've written Kulusevski, then X. Wow. Kulusevski. Why is it so hard to spell this name? Kulusevski. Yeah, that's how to spell it. So yeah, that's the Spurs lineup. I don't think there's any major surprise, but that midfield looks very weak though with Sa and Skip. Let me just check AC Milan's team. AC Milan. I don't think many. Does any of you have the likes of Giroud or anything like that? Have they released their lineup yet? I can't see AC Milan's lineup. Let me go back to the questions as you wait for all this. Mahrez instead of Mario. No, I have Mahrez in my FPL. He did well for me against Aston Villa. But Champions League, that rotation is too much. You just never know who they're going to start. You could even start Bernardo Silva on the right. You could have anyone. Mahrez is usually good for them in the Champions League, but at the void. Joao Mario, both of them could be on penalties, but if Haaland is on the pitch, Haaland will take penalties. Joao Mario will definitely take them, and I think Club Brugge is a very good fixture. So I'm going to stick with the Benfica players on this one. With the Ripadu's team, I believe in them. I have 2.2 million in the bank. By the way, you don't have to finish the entire budget. Sometimes that 2 million, 1 million can help in the next round. In the next round, if your players get red cards and maybe suspensions or they get rotated a lot between now and the second leg, you might need that money to transfer to a different player. So there's no problem with having 1 million, 2 million in the bank for the second leg. Cancelo, Theo Hernandez, I'd go for Cancelo, Silva. How many points for captain are good enough considering there are 4 attempts to pick a captain? I'd say around 8. If you get like 8, I think that would be good. Let me check PSG again. Pep loves rotation. I bet Pep plays UCL and FPL and his players according to his liking. I think he definitely trolls us. He knows what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing. Who should I get to replace Mbappe? Who's your other players? Ribadu or your other strikers? You have let's see. Did you send your team earlier? Who do you have as strikers, Ripper? Let me know. Who do you have as strikers? Yeah, but that is the direct option, Messi. Or if you want, you could go for Osimhen. Or if you want, you could go for Kane, whoever you want there. Any of them is fine. How many times can we change captaincy? Every day. So that is 4 times. You can have 4 different captains, which means you can change it 3 times. So every single day. Did you check Perisic's new position? He does play as a left wing back. He does get forward a lot, though. But unless you're saying from what you've seen today, he always plays as a left wing back unless they change something. So I think this is a PSG lineup. So they have Neymar, Messi, Verratti, Salah, Emre, Danilo, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Ramos, Mendes, and Donnarumma. Interesting as well. Osimhen and Lautaro Martinez reproduce says. So why don't you have? I'd definitely have Haaland. Now, when Leipzig and Man City play, there's always a lot of goals. I think last season they played each other twice, and there was 12 goals between them. I think one of them ended like 5-3 or something. So Leipzig and Man City usually play a lot of high-scoring games. So I'd definitely have Haaland in the team. Kane to Bellingham, Mario to Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia to Haaland. Wait, captaincy. Wait, oh, you mean captaincy? Kane, then Bellingham or Mario, then Osimhen or Kvaratskhelia, then Haaland. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'd probably go for Mario instead of Bellingham. Osimhen, I'd go for any of them, and Napoli's okay. Haaland, yeah, that is fine. Hopefully, for our sake, we don't have to go all the way to Haaland. Hopefully, even today, Kane or Messi score like 3 goals, and you don't even have to change captaincy. So many for us to choose from. Yeah, maybe Messi, Kane, those kind of guys. I don't think they're more than 5, though. There's also differentials. You can go for Choupo-Moting if you prefer. I thought of getting Haaland, but he fell off. Nah, he never falls off, man. I'm scared of facing him tomorrow. Like, he's the one guy that I'm absolutely scared of. If he turns up, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And whenever he sees such comments, I think he actually reads such comments and he's like, okay, you'll see me tomorrow. No, he's just behind Harry Kane. Which app is that? Sometimes those apps show their own formations. I think it's definitely going to be because there's Son and Kulusevski on the pitch. So Perisic will definitely be the left wing back. He won't be behind Kane. So is it worth Mbappe to Messi? I think so. What if Mbappe comes on for almost half the match? You definitely prefer someone to play 90 minutes than half the match, though, Jack, right? You always prefer 90 minutes than half the match. Obviously, Mbappe can come on and score 2 goals in 10 minutes, but you prefer the one who plays 90 minutes. And I don't think Messi will be subbed off. So you always go for the one who's going to get 90 minutes and also the playing points. And maybe if you could get 1 recovery point from somewhere, I'd go for Messi or Neymar if you prefer. But Neymar has not been on the best of form. We are taking Costa purely because of his World Cup performance. Costa, the goalkeeper. Costa, I mean, you're taking Costa because of his Champions League performance this season. This guy has like 3 penalty saves. He has like 2 assists. He's a goalkeeper, and he has like 2 assists, 3 penalty saves. It's crazy. Nick says I got Vlaco, Cancelo, and Hernandez in for Courtois, Davis, and Diaz. That sounds good. I feel like I'm making a mistake not picking PSG attackers. Now, let me show you guys my predictions as I look for the other lineup that I've missed. So these are my predictions for the games. I've gone for PSG and Bayern Munich to draw 2-2. So it's not going to be 0-0 according to my prediction. It's going to be a high-scoring game today, which means Sane will score, Messi will score, Mbappe will probably come on and score, and Musiala will score. So that is 2-2. I've gone for a high-scoring game there. AC Milan, Tottenham 1-1. I've gone for 1-1. Could easily be set piece 1-1 game over. The way Tottenham play is very defensive. Especially away from home in the Champions League. I remember Tottenham went to Sporting and literally fucked the bus the whole game until they conceded twice in the last few minutes. So Tottenham are happy with that draw in this game. So I'm going for 1-1. Dortmund, Chelsea tomorrow. I think Dortmund will win it 2-1. I think Chelsea will score, but Bellingham, Brandt, all those guys, whoever plays, Royce, Mukoko, I think is his name, any of them, amazing strikers. Even Haller has been picked in the Champions League squad. He can come on and do some damage as well. Club Brugge and Benfica. I'm going for Benfica to win that one. I think Club Brugge will score. They always score at home, so I think the Benfica will concede there. But I think Benfica have a lot of firepower with the likes of Ramos and Mario and all those guys. So 3-2 to Benfica in that one. I think that will be a very good result. I think they'll win easily back in Portugal. Liverpool, Real Madrid have gone for Madrid to beat Liverpool 2-1. Yes, Liverpool beat Everton, but Real Madrid in the Champions League is not Everton, let's be honest. So my Madrid to win. Though Madrid themselves have fallen off a lot. There are a lot of points behind Barcelona, but Real Madrid in the Champions League is Real Madrid in the Champions League. They've won a lot of Champions League titles, a lot. Frankfurt 2, Napoli 3, another high-scoring game there. You always expect goals in the Champions League. These teams are just full of talent, and I think Napoli will get 3 in this one. I watched, I think it was Spezia. They played against, no, was it Spezia? I think that played against Napoli the other day. Napoli came, they went 0-0 at halftime, and Napoli came back in the second half and scored 3 goals. That is how quickly things can turn when you're playing Napoli. They are very good. So even that was an away game, so they can score anytime. So I've gone for them to win 3-2. I've gone for Inter Milan FC Porto 1-1, just like AC Milan and Tottenham 1-1 there. I don't think any team will win. So I've seen some people going with Lautaro Martinez. He's disappointed me way too much for me to go for him again. World Cup disappointing as always. Alvarez had to help them win the World Cup. Champions League last season, Champions League this season. I'm not the biggest fan of Lautaro Martinez at all. Although I watched him the other day, I think it was 2 games ago, and he scored, I think, twice. So there is that, but I don't trust him. I feel like there's better strikers than him. Leipzig and Man City have gone for a 2-2 draw. So I've gone for every single team to score. So if you ask me which team might keep a clean sheet, I would say maybe from this game, maybe Inter Milan could nick a 1-0 win or something. Maybe that is the only team that I feel like will definitely keep a clean sheet. So the defenders I've gone for, I'm not expecting clean sheets. I'm just hoping for recovery points and a lot of attacking points. So Cancelo, Theo Hernandez, Grimaldo, these guys takes corners, free kicks, penalties. Theo Hernandez penalties, Cancelo very good in recovery points, Grimaldo free kicks, he goes forward a lot. So that's why I've gone for those ones. Di Lorenzo, Napoli, if they can nick a clean sheet, I don't think so, but if they can, always a good option. And then Nathan Ake, I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet against Leipzig, but he's just there, but he might leave. Who else plays? Who understands Inter Milan most in the chat? Apart from the right wing back in Damian and Dumfries, who plays on the left side for Inter Milan as a fullback? Let's see. So those are my predictions for these games. 1-1 Inter Milan, 2-2 Man City, Napoli to win, Real Madrid to win, Benfica to win, Dortmund to win, AC Milan and Tottenham to draw. Yeah, that is better. Yeah, I see what you mean. You're seeing like on the website. Just click on the lineups and then see it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I always forget about that one. Who should I replace Salah with? They have Kvaratskhelia, Mario, Vinicius, and Bellingham. Again, it depends on who else you have. Listen, I think Salah could be a major differential. Like if there's a time if you're trying to close a gap, I think this is the match day to do it, match day 7 or 8, because by the time you get to the semi-final, everyone will have a very similar team. But for now, I actually don't think Salah is a bad option. I think he could easily score, and he's also on penalties. So if you want a differential, you can stick with Salah. But if you don't, this is a tough one. You already have a Madrid midfield, you already have Dortmund, you already have Benfica, you already have Napoli. I wouldn't go for AC Milan or Tottenham. Maybe Son. Maybe Son. But I'd still prefer Salah ahead of Son. So I think Salah could be a good differential for you. Bayern 1-0. We're going for 1-0. That's very low scoring. I think both teams will score. Hi, Chan. Nice seeing you, man. Should I get Messi in for Kane? You don't have to. You don't have to. But personally, I would. I just prefer the PSG players. For the first time, I'm a bit scared for my Real Madrid. Why, though? I mean, Liverpool have not been that great. That's a good thing. So let me just read all the lineups in full. AC Milan have Diaz, Giroud, and Leao up front. Midfield of Tonali, Kronic, and I always have a hard time saying his name. Salamekas, is that his name? At the back, they have Hernandez, Kalulu, Theo, and yeah, that Denmark defender. I'm not going to pronounce his name. And then Tatarusanu in goal. Tottenham, Lenglet, Dyer, Romero, Emerson, Sarr, Skipson, Perisic, Kulusevski, and Kane. So that is what you meant. Yes, this is definitely not the formation they're going to play. Perisic behind Kane. I think this is a wrong formation. There's no chance Perisic is going to play behind Kane. I know this is the Champions League up and everything, but Conte always plays in the back five unless he's changed it today. I'd be very surprised if they go with the back four with Lenglet on the left side. So, yes, this is definitely not the formation. On the app, on the website, Champions League website, they have Lenglet as the left back, Emerson as the right back, Romero and Dyer as the centre back. I can confidently tell you that is definitely not how they're going to line up. Perisic is going to be left wing back and Lenglet is going to be centre back. They can't have Lenglet as a left wing back, especially if they are playing against Liao. He's going to have a very hard time. So yeah, and Emerson as well. You cannot have Emerson as a fullback when he loves going forward like that. Liao will rip him apart on that side. So yeah, I think Perisic is going to be a left wing back as always. So that's the lineup for Milan and Tottenham. And then for Bayern, I already read it, but through it again. Sommer, Upamecano, Delete, Pavard, Kimmich, Goretzka, Sane, Coman, Choupo-Moting, Cancelo, Musiala. PSG, Donnarumma, Hakimi, Ramos, Marquinhos, Verratti, Neymar, Danilo, Mendes, Soler, Messi, and Emery. So that's the lineup. Ripper says Bayern to win 3-1. So if Bayern beat PSG 3-1 at PSG, then that is going to be 6 or 7 on aggregate. Milan 1-1, so you agree with me on that one. Dortmund 2-2, Benfica to win 3-0. Obviously, I expect that prediction from you. Napoli 3-0, Liverpool to win against Real Madrid. I'd be very surprised if that happens. Liverpool do not have a midfield at all. Like, I think Valverde will Valverde Kroos mode, those guys will absolutely enjoy themselves in that midfield. Liverpool's midfield is finished. Like, Fabinho is totally out of form. Henderson is like 60 years of age now. Milner, he plays as a right back these days. If he plays in midfield, it's going to be 6-0 because he's like 70 years of age. Elliott, yes, he does. He's played like every single game for Liverpool, but this is a different level, man. You're playing against players who've won the Champions League 5-6 times. It's difficult. So I think Madrid will definitely enjoy themselves in that midfield. It's going to be very, unless Liverpool get corners or counter-attacks like they did yesterday and score. I doubt though. Inter Milan 2, Porto 0. That is a possibility. Man City 3-1. That is also a possibility. I'm sort of this game. I really hope I can stay in the top 5 of Germany and top 1K worldwide. If you can actually go above that. Like, this is a week you can actually go above that. So try and get as many a couple of differential that you feel like no one else will have. Messi or Kane? Messi. No one will keep a clean sheet. I've gone for that one as well. That opinion. Also, which Man City defender is better to pick? I'd go for Ake. There will be tons of goals. I agree with that, Ray. You can go for Mahrez. That rotation at Man City is too much, man. And they have 2 games before that one. So I don't know. It's an away game, so I don't know if he'll start or if he'll keep Mahrez for the home game. It's so hard to predict his lineups. Rafa Silva or Ramos? Probably Ramos. Maybe even both. Like, if we didn't have the likes of Messi in the Champions League and Mbappe and all these guys, I'd go for both of them. Liverpool is in form, so hence I don't know what will happen. Liverpool is in poor form. Oh, I thought you were saying they were in form. I was like, what the hell? They've won. That was their first. They scored their first goal yesterday in like a month. Martinez, what do you think? Which Martinez are you talking about? There's always a lot of Martinez. Which Martinez is this? There's always the because Emi Martinez is not in the Champions League. Which Martinez is that? I can't see an E Martinez. There's no E Martinez. Am I dreaming? Musiala or Mahrez, I'd go for Musiala. Club Brugge beating Benfica 9-2 on aggregate. Yeah, that is definitely never happening. How are you? Chat Stop Football. I commented on your video. Darwin Masterclass incoming. Real Madrid is in the Champions League is very, very good. Like, they're very, very good. Like, don't be surprised if they went there and won that game 3-0 next week. I don't own Bellingham. Is that a red flag? I don't think so. I think the red flags are players like Benfica players and Napoli players. You definitely have to have them. Bellingham, you don't really have to, although he's been probably the best player in the Champions League this season alongside Mbappe. So there is that. Hi, Rishabh. Nice seeing you again. Son versus Sane versus Musiala. I'd still go for Musiala, but I don't think any of those other two are bad options at all. Emiliano Martinez. That's the E Martinez I know as well. He's not in the Champions League though, right? He's definitely not in the Champions League. He plays for Aston Villa. Best Inter defender and midfield option. I don't think there's any, to be honest. I literally do not think there's any. I would avoid those the Inter Milan. I'd totally avoid Inter Milan. Strikers, defenders, midfielders. Best City defender, I'd say Ake. Sane or Mahrez. Sane, I always prefer Bayern Munich. And Mahrez rotation is too much of a risk. Although, I mean, we get to see the lineups before, so it's not a disaster. If he starts and you have him in your team, that's a good thing. Tron, how are you, man? Nice seeing you. Yeah, lineups are out. Brought in Perisic. Not a problem at all. I think he takes some corners, so that could work out for them. I had AC Milan consider a lot of corners in their league, so that is also a good thing. And Tottenham can score from corners as always. Sane, since Mahrez can be rotated and Sane is starting, yeah, that's my opinion as well. Mahrez could be rotated, so I prefer Sane. And I feel like it's going to be, I've predicted, I think, what has been my prediction? I've gone for the same exact scoreline for both games, 2-2 and 2-2. So there will be goals in both games. I got in Perisic too. Yeah. As an Lautaro Martinez, but that is what you meant, Mohamed. I was like, Amy Martinez. So what was your question, Mohamed? You totally threw me away by saying Amy Martinez. So you're asking, what do you think? As I said, I'm not really keen on Inter Milan. As I've seen from the predictions, a lot of you are going for Inter Milan to score 1 goal, not even 2 goals. So I've gone for the same. So I wouldn't really go for Inter Milan players. I think there's a lot of better strikers out there. Yes, I think he is, Martins. I think Leipzig will get something from that game. Is DiMarco a good option? I think there's better options, but if you want differentials, why not? I fancy Giroud. Another differential. I also fancy him as well, Tron. I feel like he's going to, if they're going to score today, is going to be the one who's going to score. So there's that as well. So my team at the moment, I have Kepa and Costa. I have Ake, Grimaldo, Cancelo, Hernandez, Di Lorenzo, Musiala, Bellingham, Mario, Vini, Kvaratskhelia, Haaland, Messi, and Osimhen. So let me see if I can. Let me go to Bayern. So if I go for, how much is Sane? 9.3. So yeah, if I take out Musiala, I'll have 10.4 million. I can actually bring in Sane, which could be an option. How many points has Musiala scored this season? 19. I am really tempted, I'm really tempted to switch Sane, to switch Musiala to Sane. Let's try something else as well. The rest of the midfield, I think I'm going to stick with it. Ake, do I really have to have a Man City defender? If I take out Ake, I'll have 7.8 million. There's a lot of defenders I can go for. I can go for Guerrero, Dortmund. How much is Guerrero? He's 4.7 million. I'll have a lot of money in the bank. Theo Hernandez, I have a feeling Tottenham will definitely score, but I have a feeling Theo Hernandez could get a goal or an assist or something. Goalkeepers as well. Do I really have to go for Kepa? I feel like Kepa will have a lot of saves from Dortmund. I think Dortmund have won they've won 6 out of the last 7 games or something like that. I think they're doing quite good recently. They've also climbed the table. I've seen they're only a few points behind Bayern and Union Berlin. What the hell are Union Berlin doing in the top 2 of the Bundesliga anyway. They're doing very well. Well done to them. So yeah, Dortmund are closing the gap. Should I go for two of them? Chelsea. Have any of you considered any Chelsea players? Should we go for any Chelsea players in our teams? Reece James. Is Reece James a good option up against Dortmund? Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, and Chalobah. One of them will have to come on now that Badia Shiel was not picked for the Champions League squad. So it could be Koulibaly or Chalobah who plays next to Thiago Silva. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet though. Reece James. Does any of you have Reece James in the team? Do any of you have Reece James in the team? I saw Fofana is back in training as well, so Chelsea players are coming back. What about the midfielders? Mudryk is only 6.3 million. Sterling, nope. Mount, nope. Enzo Fernandez, Ripper will know a lot about Fernandez. He put in a very good cross the other day for Felix. I think Felix is not a bad option. Now, I think if you want Felix with a differential, I think he will score a few goals for Chelsea. So I don't think Felix is a bad option. And Enzo Fernandez, let me just check how many recovery points he had at Benfica. Enzo Fernandez. So he managed to pick up, I don't want club form, I want Champions League form. He had 22 ball recoveries that got him 6 points, okay. He already has 2 assists for Benfica this season as well, Enzo Fernandez. Let's see. So I think Felix is not a bad option if you want to go for a differential. I will definitely make a couple of changes to this team. Ederson for sure. And I'll go for Ederson and Onana. Let's see. I mean, I can't blame you, Ray. I can't blame you. Cancelo versus Pavard. Cancelo for sure for me. You can't take Sane because I've already made that transfer, so you aren't allowed to do it. How many people have Sane? Musiala is owned by 9%, and Sane is owned by. I also need to be very careful with that. Sane is owned by 15%, so it's not that big of a gap. I had Reece James, took him out for Cancelo. He probably did the right thing. So yeah, I'm not really keen about keeping Ake anyway. I feel like I need to check him out. So I can see people asking for the lineups. Let me just type all of them. Donnarumma. We have Hakimi. What about Hakimi? I feel like both teams will score, but Hakimi is always a massive threat in terms of going forward. Marquinhos, Verratti. Keep sending in your questions. As always, by the way, if you haven't joined the league yet, you can join the league. I need to check where everyone is in the league. Mendes, Soler, Messi, Emery. So that is PSG's lineup. PSG. Let me get buy-ins. Soma, Amecano, Elite, Pavard, Cancelo. Any of them is just okay. If you want any of them, it's fine. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer between Pavard and Cancelo, because I think Cancelo was subbed off in the last game. Goretzka, Sane, Coman, Choupo-Moting, Cancelo, and Musiala. So got it. So I will have the PSG and Bayern lineups scrolling down the bottom at the moment. Let's do this. Got it. So that is the full PSG and Bayern Munich lineups. Ake is a high risk but high payoff player. Exactly that. More of a high risk though, knowing Guardiola. Ake to Rafael Guerrero definitely being considered a lot. I mean, 24th with the iconic name Chicken Winger. Yeah, always an iconic name. Donnarumma, Ake, Di Lorenzo, Grimaldo, Pavard. So you've picked Pavard, Mario, Vini, Sane, Costa, Marius, Haaland, Damian. I said Leipzig and Man City always scoring a bunch of goals against them. What I'd do, I wouldn't go for both Myers and Haaland. I wouldn't go for Myers this week. I'd go for him when they play at home against Leipzig. I feel like there's a lot of midfielders you can go for. How many games has Zielinski started recently? You can remember you can also have 4 players from one team for those ones who are not sure about that one. You can now have 4 players from one team. So if you want 4 Napoli players, you can go for it. Ake is a risk. Yes, just as like in my team, massive risk. Ake, and I think they'll concede. And I wouldn't go for Damian. I would not go for an Inter Milan defender unless it's a left wing back who's guaranteed to start. I'd avoid that game. Next week, yes, Raid. This week, no, because tomorrow Arsenal is playing against Man City, and today slightly still under the weather, as you can hear from my voice. Martin says Kepa, Guerrero, Kepa and Courtois, Guerrero, Theo, Grimaldo, Cancelo, Di Lorenzo. Is there anything that doesn't have Kvaratskhelia? You are absolutely crazy if you don't have Kvaratskhelia. Let me see how many people own him. This guy is a baller. He's only owned by 24%. That is crazy. That is criminal. He should be owned by like 50%. So I don't mind that team at all. I think it looks good. Messi, Osimhen, Haaland. Yeah, that looks good. I'd potentially give it like 8.5 out of 10, Martins. Add Mahrez. Also, how much do you have in the bank, Martins? Add Mahrez. Nah, I'm not sure about Mahrez. That rotation scares me a lot. And Man City have 2 games between now and the time they play Leipzig. Anything can happen. Reece James is a good option. I think Dortmund will score at least 2 goals, but Reece James, in terms of going forward, is always a good option. The only problem with him is injuries. He could start tomorrow, and then after 30 minutes, he's injured. So you have to be ready for such situations. Arsenal 2, Man City 2 for sure. I wouldn't mind that, but I feel like it's a must-win game. I also talked to an Arsenal player yesterday, by the way. If you follow me on Twitter, it will be out tomorrow. I was absolutely mesmerized. I talked to an Arsenal player yesterday. Mind blown. And he convinced me that they're definitely going to win tomorrow. So let's wait and see. Let's hope he was right. Kvaratskhelia even scored last game. He always scores. He always does crazy things. That squad gives me 0.8 million in the bank. So there's no problem with you keeping that 0.8 million in the bank. Your squad looks good. San is also another one I'm considering. Theo Hernandez, clean sheet wise, you might get a lot of saves from Kepa. I don't think Courtois will keep a clean sheet. Guerrero is good. Theo Hernandez is good. Grimaldo. Those are like, you have those defenders that you have are like attackers, Martins. Guerrero, Theo Hernandez, Grimaldo, Cancel. That's like you have 7 forward players in your team. So that's not bad at all. Follow me on Twitter, Ray. I'll probably post about it tomorrow, right before the Arsenal Man City game. Yes, Yusuf. Nice seeing you. Mahrez out for Salah. Mahrez out for Salah. Bellingham, which is on your option. I'd take out Mahrez. No, I wouldn't take out Bellingham. Bellingham has to be in the team for me. Bellingham has to be in the team. Oh, let's see. If we take out Ake, let's try and bring on Dortmund player Guerrero. Is this a good option? I'll have 3.1 million in the bank. So this is a possibility. This is something I might do. Ake for Guerrero. This is something I might do. If I keep Ake in my team, I'd hope he plays as a left wing, as a left back, not as a centre back, because left back he can go forward a bit more and he can get more recovery points. I would want him to play as a left back, but that is so hard to predict. So hard to predict. The rest, I think, will remain the same. Theo Hernandez, we are sure he's going to start, so I'm going to keep him. Goalkeeper-wise, Kepa, I could switch to a Dortmund goalkeeper instead and remove Guerrero and just bring on someone else. Let me just check Napoli players. Napoli is so good. They're such a fun team to watch. Zielinski is 7.3, Anguissa is 5.4, 5.7. Simeone and Raspadori don't really start. Politano doesn't really start. There's a lot of rotation between those players. I wish there was like a third player who always plays, like Vachel and Osimhen. That would be so good. But let me return Ake for now. How are you, Soldier Boy, man? How are you? Nice seeing you. Yeah, I'm just not allowed to reveal, Ray. The Premier League guys told me not to reveal it until tomorrow. My team for this match day: Courtois, Soma, Perisic, Theo Hernandez, Grimaldo, Cancelo, Alaba, Musiala, Bellingham, Mario, Emre. Call me crazy, is my captain. Emre is your captain. I'm not going to call you crazy, Chan. I'm going to call you something worse than crazy. Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, Messi, and Haaland. That is very bold, though. If Emre performs well, Chan, but it's great to have a differential for the first day. That takes a lot of guts. Defensively looks good. Alaba, Musiala, Bellingham, Mario, Emre. How much is Emre? Let's check this Emre guy. Is he related to Unai Emre? Emre PSG. Where the hell? Like, it is literally at the bottom. 4 million. Jesus Christ. 4 million. He's your captain, Chan. Oh, wow. He's owned by 0%. You're literally the only person in this world who owns him, Chan, and you've captained him. Are you related to him? Warren Zaire Emery. He's gotten 0 points this season. Wow. 4 million is his prize. He's not played a single game this season. Imagine if he scores. Huh. Sane or Musiala, I'm sure Sane. I have Musiala, but I've definitely considered Sane a lot. He was always explosive in the Champions League. Ederson, goalkeeper, no problem at all. The thing with City, I think Leipzig will attack. Yes, they'll create a lot of chances and 5-6 chances, and they can have shots. They do have the players to do so, the likes of Kunku and even Werner. But Man City sometimes, especially in the home games, Man City can very easily just have that position and you'll have only one shot. So if they don't keep a clean sheet, you won't get any save points. That's the problem with the Man City. But I think Ederson is always a good option. And Ederson is another goalkeeper who can get you assists. Why don't you do FPL videos? Because of the time. Yes, I wish I could do it, but I have this channel, Everything Arsenal, and I have a documentary channel. Like, it takes a lot of time. So I wish I could have though. And I do play FPL a lot though. I always play FPL. I've played FPL for 8 years. But that's the reason, yes, just time. Good evening, says Ray. The younger players always turn up if they get to play these bigger matches. That's why he's in. Yeah, I mean, he could also get a red card. Remember Gomez for Man City? He could easily get a red card anytime. But yeah, that's a bold option. I wouldn't really captain him, Chan, but having him in your team, no problem. But captaining him, no. Imagine Messi scores a hat trick today and Kane scores a hat trick and he didn't captain them. You're going to be left behind a lot. Why do you believe in Hernandez? I have no idea. Mostly because he goes forward a lot. That is why. And also because Tottenham are missing a lot of players. Bissouma, Bentancur, their goalkeeper. Who are injured and doubts from which team? Alan, how are you? Who would you captain between Leao, Cancelo, Musiala, Hernandez? Definitely not Hernandez, not the defender. Not any of the defenders, not Cancelo, Hernandez. I'd probably say Leao, I'd probably say Leao at home against Tottenham. So are you sticking with Ake? I'm still 50-50, Ray. This one is going to go to the last minute. I am still 50-50. This is definitely going to go to the last minute. I don't feel like it's a must to have a City defender because I feel like Leipzig will definitely score. But I can't really see who plays for Inter Milan. Let me just check Inter Milan's defenders apart from Damian and Dumfries. Who else plays in their defense? Bastoni, Skriniar. I know Skriniar starts, but centre back. Who plays as the left wing back? Is it Gosens? I mean, Gosens was amazing when he used to play for Atalanta. Let me just check Inter Gosens. How many games has Gosens played this season? He played 45 minutes in the last game, then 90 minutes. No, I don't like that. Gosens played 45 minutes in the last game. Previously, he played 19 minutes. The previous game, he played 71 minutes and then 23 minutes. He's never played more than 90 minutes. He only plays few minutes, so nah. So we are definitely not going to go for Gosens. Skriniar. What about Skriniar? Skriniar. Skriniar, I believe he plays every single game, right? 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 40 minutes, 90 minutes. I mean, if you really want an Inter Milan defender, you can go for Skriniar. I think Dumfries and Damian are risks. Yes, they can be on your bench until next week. If they don't start, you don't have to bring them on, and they play as fullbacks, so they'll go forward a lot. I have a feeling Dumfries will start in the Champions League because he always does well in European competitions. But if you want a guaranteed player, I think Skriniar is the one who plays every single game. Who plays as a left back for Inter Milan? Can someone help me? Bastoni. Let me check Bastoni. And is it DiMarco? 90 minutes, 90. Oh, nah. Bastoni has been on the bench for a couple of games. I don't like that as well. DiMarco. Federico DiMarco. He's the one, right? He's the one who plays the left back. Oh, I don't like him as well. He gets subbed off for Gosens every single game. I don't like that as well. So I would avoid Inter Milan. I don't like the minutes these defenders play apart from Skriniar. Skriniar is the only one who plays 90 minutes. I'm at the hospital. Sorry, man. Sorry about that one. Is it you? Is it someone else? But whoever it is, a quick recovery. I didn't need to be at the hospital, but I was down bad the last 4 days. How would you say that? I still have Haaland. Is he a safe option to captain? Of course. If Emre should flop or if Messi actually scores 3 goals. If Messi scores 3 goals and you've captained Emre, which you definitely shouldn't, Chan, I think Osimhen can cover for you or someone like that. Or you definitely have to have Haaland. Haaland, he's very explosive, and Leipzig and Man City always play a lot of games with a lot of goals. Like last season, they played twice. There was 12 goals in those 2 games, so there's a lot. There's a lot of good things about that fixture in an attacking sense. Transfers from Real Madrid, who are injured and doubts from Real Madrid. I don't know about any. I think the likes of Valverde are all okay. I think all of them are okay. The important players are all okay. Can you give me a documentary YouTube channel? Okay, I'll put the link in the chat. Don't trust Pep. Take either Perisic or Guerrero, says Ray. KDB, good option, says Johnny. Good differential, yes. Trevor Moting, any ideas about him? I know he's very cheap, 6 million. He's starting, so that's a good thing. Is he going to play 90 minutes? I'm not very sure. But for me, I wouldn't go for him. But if you want a differential, you can. Best goalkeeper options, I'd say Costa, Porto, Ederson, Man City, Vlaco Dimos, Benfica. I might be crazy with taking Salah, but let's see. I don't think you're crazy at all. He can easily turn up, and he's going to be a differential for you. Best 4th Napoli player, I'd probably say is Zielinski. Best Inter Milan defender is Damian, says Titus. I mean, yes, I know he's played the last few Serie A games, league games, but Dumfries always does well in the Champions League, World Cup, so could he be brought back in? Let's see. Yeah, I've put the link in the chat. Yes, Sina. So on that channel, I am very unbiased as well. I would do documentaries about Man United players that I hate, and I'd never know it. Oh, sorry about that, Alan. Get well soon. Hopefully it's not that serious. What do you think of Leroy Sané for Musiala? I'm considering it as well. Zach, I think you can go for any of them that you want. So I think it's between the two of them. I wouldn't really go for common. Is Courtois a good pick? Yes, he's always a good pick. He was the best goalkeeper last season in the Champions League. 2 out of 3, Bellingham, Musiala, Mario. I'd go for Bellingham and Mario Chim. I'm doubting between Bellingham or Salah. For me, I'd have Bellingham. I think Chelsea will lose that game. I think Madrid is definitely a better team than Chelsea, so I'd go for Bellingham. How about Lewandowski? Oops, forgot. Wrong European competition, says Ray. If there's any Barcelona fans in the chat, you've definitely had them. It's going to be a good game against Man United. I need a defender. I already have Grimaldo, Di Lorenzo, Cancelo, and Bar. So you've covered Benfica and Napoli and Bayern. AC Milan or Tottenham are reproduced. So maybe Theo Hernandez or Perisic between one of them. Do we get unlimited transfers for round of 16? Right now, yes, but next round, no. After the deadline hits in the next 30 minutes, you don't have unlimited transfers for the next round. So that's why I'm saying if you have like 2 million in the bank, 1 million in the bank, there's no problem with keeping that in the bank because it might help in the next round. How many points do you have overall? I'll check that. It's been so long since we played Champions League Fantasy, like 3 months. I'll check that as well, boss. I don't know about Dortmund. They sometimes play pretty bad and sometimes good. They've been good recently though. And also they're playing against a Chelsea team that has been really bad. Olivier Giroud is a good option because Foster is so bad. Foster is so bad. I saw the goals he conceded against Leicester. You're very right, Maza. He was pretty bad, those 4 goals. He actually considered 5. One of them was disallowed. I think Giroud is one of the most underrated players in the history of football. I know when he was at Arsenal, we used to say crappy things about him. I think, to be honest, Arsenal should have won the Premier League in 2016 when Leicester won. If Giroud didn't miss that many chances, Arsenal would have done better. But apart from that, I think Giroud is very underrated. Like Giroud can have, those compilations you have for top 20 goals in a season. I think Giroud can have his own list of top 20 goals, just overhead kicks and volleys. He has a very incredible catalog in terms of the kind of goals he scores. Both Man United and Barcelona in form. That is correct. You definitely know which one I want to win, though. 27 minutes, Aston. Who should I put? Captain Messi or Sane? Any of them. Today is the one day that you can have whichever captain that you want. Chan has gone for Emery as captain. I think it's very crazy, but today is you can go for anyone that you want. Today is the one day that you can pick whoever you want. The first day you can go for a differential. So however you feel, even is it Ivan or even whoever you want. Let me know who you prefer personally between the two of them. Giroud or Liao? I mean, Tottenham are not weak in terms of headers, so I'd go for Liao. Are you sure about Kepa and Costa? Yes, I think those ones are going to remain in my team. I've thought about having a Dortmund goalkeeper instead, but no, I think Kepa will have a lot of shots to save, so that's why I've gone for him. Costa is Costa. Costa saves penalties for fun. He gets assists for fun in the Champions League. Ake is the one I'm not sure about, and also Theo Hernandez, because I have the option of going for a Dortmund defender instead. Maybe even going for a second Benfica defender. Who knows? Giroud all the way, says Ray. Ezra, how are you? Sane, Salah, or Mahrez? Sane. Mahrez, Salah in that order. Coman or Sane, should I captain one of them over Messi, says Andres. Whoever you prefer, Andres, but I'd go for Sane. But in terms of captaincy, today is a free for all. You can captain whoever you want on the first day. I think it's a good time to captain a differential. A good time to have any captain pick because it's not like the final day where you have to get it right. Kane for me is a very good option. I agree with that. AC Milan have been conceding a lot of goals. I watched the Milan derby the other day. Those are a lot of goals. I didn't watch the Sassuolo one, but I watched the highlights. 5 goals is a lot. I watched when they conceded 4 against Lazio. That's also a lot. I think they've also lost a couple of cup games, if I'm not wrong. Have you had your dinner? Absolutely not. I just that is after this show. Merit and Onana. Good. Pedro is asking about the goalkeepers. When is Merit playing? Onana is playing on the final day. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. If you don't have any money in your bank, that's fine. I'd be tempted to go for one expensive goalkeeper, what's the word I'm looking for? One premium goalkeeper, if you have the money. How many players per team can we have? 4. You can switch the captain once or twice every day alone. You can switch it every day. So more than twice. Perisic can score today, says Ezra. He can. I think it's not going to be a high scoring game. Ruben Diaz or Ake. Diaz is too much of a rotation risk, Johnny. What are you planning on doing with the remaining funds in your bank? As almost 4 million seems a lot, says Penguin. Believe me, it's not a lot. When you go to the next round, if someone here gets a red card or someone gets suspended or anything like that, in the next round, maybe I'd want to move to a more expensive player. Maybe if Salah scores 3 goals against Madrid this week and everyone gets him in for the next match day and everyone wants to get him in and I want to get him in as well, that 4 million, 3 million will definitely help. So that money does help sometimes. But yeah, I do agree with you. 3.4 million seems like a lot. Even if I take out Ake for another defender, I'm still going to have like 3.4 million in the bank still. I'm not really considering anyone too expensive. Maybe Sane for Musiala. I'm kind of tempted to get Neymar in to say Zach. You have to be ready for disappointment with players like Lautaro Martinez and Neymar. They can really disappoint you at times. Freddie says, what do you think of Mignolet and should I replace him? Yeah, I think you should replace him. I think Benfica are going to run away with that game. Ederson Okotua, Ederson, Musiala, Mahrez, I'd go for Musiala. Courtois may not be fit, says Jose. Which teams do you think will go through? Who? I'm going to go for Dortmund. You know what? You obviously don't like Tottenham being an Arsenal fan, but I'm going to say Tottenham to beat AC Milan. It hurts me to say that, but I'm going to say Tottenham to beat AC Milan, Dortmund to beat Chelsea, Benfica to beat Club Brugge, Madrid to beat Liverpool, Napoli to go through as well, Man City to go through as well. I'm going to go for FC Porto to beat Inter Milan. I'm going to go for FC Porto to go to the next round. PSG Bayern, my goodness. I'm going to go for Bayern Munich because PSG's team has a few injuries, so I'm going to go for Bayern. So Bayern, Tottenham, Dortmund, Benfica, Real Madrid, Napoli, Man City, FC Porto, Soldier Way. No, don't jinx it by saying Salah will score 3 goals. I think it definitely won't against Real Madrid. Milan 1, Tottenham 1. I've gone for the same exact prediction, Johnny. Lautaro Martinez, or Kane or Giroud. From that, I'd go for Kane, Alpha. Kepa or Nana. I've gone for Kepa, but I don't mind Onana. I feel like he has the best chance of keeping a clean sheet in this match day. But personally, I've gone for Kepa just because of save points, really. Kulusevski, thoughts? Very good player. He will probably, if they score, he will be the one assisting and stuff. He will take corners from one side as well, and Tottenham score corners, and AC Milan concede a lot from them. So it could be a good differential as well. Are you furious with VR? What VR did? They robbed us. They basically robbed us. But yeah, it's not just us. VR is the people who are controlling VR are terrible, honestly. So, but we move on, Ria. We can't. There's nothing we can really do about that as well. Good predictions. Hopefully they come. Hopefully they come true. 7 of them. Hopefully I want AC Milan to beat Tottenham. Best goalkeeper in this match day, says Sam. That's a tough one. I feel like Inter Milan and FC Porto have a good chance of one of them keeping a clean sheet. So I think it could be 1-1 or 1-0 or something like that. So I'm going to probably say Onana and Diogo Costa. I have Kepa because of save points, but I don't think he will keep a clean sheet. I think Dortmund will win that game. Kane or Haaland, always going to be Haaland. Man City, Leipzig always have a lot of high scoring games. You think Arsenal will beat Man City? I am super scared, Zach. Like, I'm very calm right now, but I'm super scared. We usually do well at home. Man City is very good. Listen, Man City is very good. I'm not just going to say Arsenal is definitely going to win the league or anything. Man City is very good. But you know what, Zach? Yes, 3-2 tomorrow. What do you think about PSG and Bayern? I think it's going to be a very high scoring game, 2-2 this time. And I think Bayern will win the second leg, something like 3-2. So 5-4 on aggregate or something like that. I think Mahrez is an underrated option. He is. I have him in my FPL. He scored and assisted against Aston Villa the other day. But rotation is the problem, Louis. Rotation is the problem. That's the only problem. And they have 2 games between now and when they play in the Champions League. So anything can happen. So that's why I've avoided him. Have you ever placed a bet on any match and got an insane return? No, I don't go that crazy. I don't go Drake crazy and place millions of money now. Taremi thoughts? Um, maybe not away. But next time when they go to Portugal, when FC Porto have the home game, then I would consider the FC Porto players. Arsenal City, and he also did very well at the World Cup. Low key, Arsenal City better than low key Arsenal City better than CL. Wait, low key Arsenal City better than. Listen, I just hope Arsenal beats Man City tomorrow. That's all I care about. Come on, who are we kidding? Arsenal will therefore win. Saka and Odegaard will run a riot. That's what the Arsenal player told me yesterday. They said we are ready. We are ready for this game. We hope to make all our fans proud. Let's see. Big game. Solely saying because I have them in FPL. Oh yeah, I have them as well. I have Saka, Odegaard, Mahrez, Haaland, Kane, Mitoma. Who else do I have? I have Gabriel. I have Ederson as my goalkeeper. I have a Stupinan from Brighton. Best Inter Milan defender. I mean, Dumfries and Damian rotation risk. And personally, I feel like Dumfries will start. Everyone else feels like Damian will start. The one who's definitely going to play 90 minutes is Skriniar. Everyone else could be subbed off. That's the problem. So I'd say Skriniar or the goalkeeper, Marcus. As a Liverpool fan, I want Arsenal to win. I can't stand City. I feel like maybe a few Liverpool fans and few Newcastle fans might want Arsenal to win, but I'm 100% sure there's no Tottenham fan that wants Arsenal to win. There's no Man United fan that wants Arsenal to win. There's no Chelsea fan that wants Arsenal to win. So I feel like there's a lot of teams that don't want Arsenal to win. Maybe a few Liverpool fans would want Arsenal to win, maybe. I mean, it's better watching the Arsenal City game than, oh, that's what you meant. I don't like the fact that they've put it at the same time, though, but big game. I think many people will watch that one because it's number 1 against 2. Considering a late change from Kepa to Vlachodimos, says Martins. Personally, I wouldn't do that because I already have a Benfica defender. I don't really want to double up on anyone. Zach says I have uni exams tomorrow, so I'll miss the match. I was looking forward to watching if Arsenal could come back. You reminded me of the waking up days and stuff. I used to hate those days of waking up for school. Absolutely hated it. 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Terrible. Good luck in your exams. Don't worry. This is the one game you need to stay up to watch, Zach. But good luck in your exams, though. I'm scared for that game. I'm absolutely scared. Is there a free transfer? Is there free transfers? So what do you mean by that? Like in the next round or what? Mitoma and Estupinan will blank in game week 25, so I hope you have backup. Yes, I'm aware because Newcastle and Man United are playing the Carabao Cup final. It's not only them. I also have Rashford, Trippier as well. So 4 players who are not going to play. Best defenders, Grimaldo and Cancelo for me. Hi Sam, it's nice seeing you as always. How are you doing in FPL? Recently, since the World Cup, terrible. You know why? Because I always let my allegiance get in my way. I could not bring Rashford to my team because I don't like Man United. And I knew he was going to keep on scoring and scoring and scoring. I was like, no, I'm not going to bring Rashford to my team. I don't want Man United to keep winning. I want them to lose, so I'm not going to support Man United to keep on scoring. And I didn't bring on Rashford, and he scored 10 goals without me having him in my team. And I think I dropped from like 300K to like 1 million literally because of not having Rashford. And I was like, nah, I'm going to bring him in. And he scored like 3 goals for me. So it's not good this season, Alan. So around 1 million. So, I mean, if you look at how many people play it, around 12 million, that's not that bad. But this season, not good, mostly because I've been too, what was the word I'm looking for? That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, but yeah, I've not wanted to bring Rashford to my team, and that's why I've failed a lot the last 6-7 game weeks. I am a Madrid fan, so I don't mind Arsenal winning. Says Ray. Free transfer in the next round. I think you get 2 transfers in the next round, if I'm not wrong. I have 4 players as well, 2 United and 2 Newcastle. That's Rashford end, sure, I guess. Felipe says, I have Mahrez, but I'm concerned about rotation. I would be very concerned as well. Better Coman or Musiala. I'd go for Musiala or keep Mahrez. I'd go for Musiala personally. So I guess you didn't triple captain Rashford. I can never do that. I can never triple captain a Man United or Tottenham player. I can never. I can never sit down and support Man United to score a bunch of goals. I can't do that. That's why I said. You see that someone asked me for the documentary channel link. I did a video about Jason Park. Jason Park used to score a bunch of goals against Arsenal, but in that video, I had to be very, very unbiased. I said a lot of good things about Jason Park, but it's usually very hard because of the rivalry. I play FPL because Madrid is not in FPL. I play a lot of I play Bundesliga fantasy. I also play Champions League, Premier League. I also play Norwegian fantasy, the Norway League with the Molde and Bodo Glimt, those kind of teams. I actually finished like 100th in the world last season when I don't even watch the league at all because there's nowhere to watch the Norwegian league at all. But it's fun. It's just fun getting to learn about other countries and other teams. And it's always fun to play fantasy games. It might be an addiction because I find myself playing fantasy games of countries that 10,000 people play. I'm around 60K in FPL. They're doing brilliantly. I need 2 more defenders. Have Grimaldo, Damian, Di Lorenzo. Don't want Cancelo. So you have Grimaldo, Damian, and Di Lorenzo. Do you want any Bayern players? Maybe Pavard if you want any other Bayern player. If you want PSG, maybe Hakimi, but I feel like both teams will score there. If you want to double up in terms of Benfica, you can go for Ba if you prefer, or Theo Hernandez, Perisic, those fullbacks mostly. Can Messi perform today? Oh, Louis, that is a very easy question. This is Lionel Messi you're talking about. So yes, Inter Milan scored 3 goals against Barcelona. What makes you think they can't win and keep a clean sheet against Porto? That time they played Barcelona were not doing well at all. That time they played Barcelona was not doing good at all. Barcelona got eliminated from the Champions League, and I think they lost both games to Bayern Munich as well. And that was 4 months ago. A lot of things change, Alpha. KDB or Mo Salah? KDB, easier fixture. What do you think about Klopp? One of the best managers of this generation, but I feel like he will be out of Liverpool very soon. I feel like I don't think it's his fault. I don't think they have a good enough midfield. There would also be a kind of stupid to sack him, but sometimes you just need it to be a bit fresh. You can't stay with the same manager forever. Look who's talking. We had one manager for 20-something years. Play the Israeli League fantasy. I don't think there's one, but I do play like 4 or 5. What do you think of having Haaland, Kane, Messi instead of Osimhen? Oh, bad idea, Soldier Boy. Osimhen is very good. Napoli is very good. That is one thing I would not even consider. Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen are definitely going to be in the team. Have you watched Napoli, man? Like Napoli plays some really sweet football. There's this goal he scored against Roma, Osimhen. That goal, he's definitely going to be in my team. We'll be happily making videos because of Arsenal in the Champions League, hopefully. If we don't make the Champions League next one, that would be a disaster. Thoughts on double Napoli defense? I have Kim and Di Lorenzo. I think Frankfurt will score. Maybe when they play at home. Napoli, I think that is a consideration. But I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet, though. So I wouldn't really go for double defense. Maybe if you want to go for their goalkeeper, Louis, maybe goalkeeper, if that's the only way I can go for a second defender. Why is Davis benched? No idea, Jack. They've preferred, I think, Cancelo on the left. Will Musiala play 90? Probably. Mahrez or Sane? Sane. Sane or Kimmich? Sane. Would you go for Napoli keeper? Oh, you actually asked that. Soldier Boy asked that later on. If you feel like you need two Napoli defenders, then is the goalkeeper is the one I'd go for. I didn't really go for two center backs or two fullbacks or anything like that. I feel like there's better keepers, but I think Frankfurt will also attack, so he can get you save points. If they keep a clean sheet, that could be great. We have a fantasy game, but it's only in Hebrew, so yeah, no translation, right? The Norwegian one is also in Norwegian, but they do have translation to English, so that helps. Thoughts on Theo Hernandez? Tottenham will score, but Theo Hernandez playing as a fullback and crosses and penalties, great. It's 1:20 a.m. Got to hit the bed. Oh, let me read it as Ray wrote it. Anyway, it's 1:20 a.m. here. Gotta hit the bed. Probably wants to watch the match today. Ray probably won't watch the match today. Not probably, probably. Yeah, I understand, man. So these timings are crazy. The timings are always crazy. You're welcome, Soldier. But I appreciate you guys watching as always. We will do watch-alongs from next week, the next week games. Definitely try and do watch-alongs. But I appreciate you guys watching. I will make 2 changes to this team, but I won't do it live. I'm going to get a couple of differentials. Double up on Inter defense, so Napoli. Ezra would say Inter. We had in the game super good midfielder called Götze, but Salzburg bought him for 7 million. I'll take a look at Tim Allen. Which keeper to select after Costa, please? Says Jerem. I've gone for Kepa, but you can go for a Dortmund goalkeeper instead. Any of those. But I would prefer this two. Would have been spot on if you did it with an Indian accent. Oh, absolutely not, Ray. I am not good at that at all. Shout out to India, though. Shout out to India. Everyone in India, appreciate you guys as well. Ray, and wherever you're watching from, I appreciate it. I'd love to visit India, Ray. I will tell you. If I come to India, I'll definitely let you know. Pick me up from Mumbai. Thank you guys for watching. I'll definitely catch up with you on the next one. Let's see how we do this match day.